Now, I've been seeing some posts with regard to word tracks, and I just wanted to comment on that a little bit. And you'll kind of see the feeling that I have just based on the excerpt from Beyond the Walkaround that precedes the video. And I was on both sides of the fence. I didn't like them at one time, and now I really do believe in them. So I've heard the words archaic with word tracks and better to use flow, and I get it entirely. And I think those people are right as well. But you do need to get to that flow. And the word tracks, the concept of word tracks are not archaic. The word tracks themselves may very well be, and if we're not modernizing those word tracks or adapting them to the business as it does change, and most everybody I'm reading does say that this business is changing, that's how you're going to develop that confidence and that efficiency. I mean, heck, even NFL teams will script the first 15 plays. And what that does, again, is it builds confidence, stability, structure, and it allows them to feel more confident, again, when they adapt and utilize their own talents and maybe have to ad-lib, that they're more prepared to do so, because that, again, preceded that and gave them all these things that they need. It was a foundation for them. So please understand, and I don't think that there's a sales manager or a BDC manager that wouldn't agree that we need modernized word tracks when they hear a consultant when asked, what's your best price, say, what do you want to pay for the vehicle? Or how are you guys on trades, or what do you do on trade-ins? Well, what do you want for your trade-in? And we've heard that question being criticized in the past as well. But that's an easy fallback because that's kind of what we've been taught. Just get them in the store, give them the promise of the day. If they offer you $15,000 on a $20,000 vehicle, what's the response in a lot of cases for a lot of us? Well, if I can get you $15,000, will you buy it right now? Well, that's an archaic word track. And we're going to talk about what the better ones might be. So if somebody, again, asks what your best price is, maybe on a new vehicle it is different. You can basically say whatever the market will bear, folks, and it changes every day. It's in flux, but we've restructured our pricing philosophy in order to dominate the market, and we have been, and we've been taking great care of people. But let me show you why this vehicle is a wonderful one, or why it might be perfect for you. And then you can transition into a presentation. With pre-owned, why not use what many facilities are going to, and it is truly all market-based. Velocity by Dale Pollock was written. That concept and that idea of quick turn of used car inventory is vital. If they're using a tool like vAuto or True Target, which is involved in some of those other ones, and can actually take a peek at what these vehicles are selling for, 300 to 500 miles away, the mileage on them, the sales consultant can utilize that information and say, this is truly market-based. This is truly based on that. And if they have a concern or objection that says, well, I can buy one down the street just like it for $1,000 less, if you want to talk about archaic, you go back to, well, what was it? What kind of equipment did it have? Well, guess what? The customer's always going to say it had more equipment. Well, how many miles did it have? Well, it has less miles. Okay, what's the condition? It's in better condition. So these are all things that don't work as well. But if we immediately counter with, well, since it's market-based, one must assume that all the reasons another facility would sell a vehicle like this for less have already been addressed by us. Understanding that, let me go ahead and show you why this is worth the money or why this is bringing the money. Well, that's more of a modern word track. The customer may go right with the presentation, may respond, what do you mean by that? Well, again, being that it's market-based, whether it be cosmetic, mechanical, or both, there has to be that issue. Now, again, let me show you why this vehicle is doing so well. So this can be used at the desk, it can be used over the phone, email, what have you, but modernized. So word tracks, again, if they're modernized and adapted, are vital in my mind. But I think, like I said, I've been on both sides of the fence, but I see where everybody's coming from with that. Now, very quickly, I wanted to talk about transparency, and I believe it was Sean Welsh, who's the founder of Car Biz Done Better, mentioned that it lost its luster, and Sean is right. It has lost its luster, particularly with us, because we hear it all the time, so it's certainly become cliche, and now that all types of other businesses are using transparency, and saw one post where it said, yeah, it means we can see right through you. Very true statement as well. But there are a lot of customers that become more comfortable with a cliche, with something that's familiar to them. So we just have to, again, use it as it was meant to be used, to replace words like integrity and honesty, although you should use all of them because they're very good words, and that's really what this is all about. You talk about evolving the business. There's no reason to hide anything. It's all out there for them. And then we can get to what? I talked about this last time, interpretation of data as being part of the process. Ooh boy, there's a lot of it out there. And just had a recent situation where somebody had called and mentioned that they had a gal come in and wanted 10 or 12 grand for a vehicle that was worth 6. Well, we still get that, even with the data before them. Why? Because they punch in the wrong trim level, the wrong mileage, and don't really understand what they're reading. Oh yeah, it's retail. That's not how it works. We're a retail facility. We take it in for wholesale and sell it for retail. So again, there's a lot of these different things going on in the marketplace, and our job, as I have said, is to eliminate the shopping list. And we have to do that with world-class presentations. Again, and going back to the basics, building rapport, overcoming concerns and objections, building value in the vehicle by having just an intimate knowledge of your product and of the competition. But this, again, goes back to things that have been taught for 40 years. There's a few bits and pieces of modern ideas in there, and we're going to continue to do that because we don't need to be stagnant. We need to grow. But anyway, those are my 2 cents. I hope they were worth that at least. But I hope everybody has a great day. Take care. Bye.